Hi guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plaster and my daughter Madeleine. Let me have a little bit more, babe. We're going to show you today how to do some patchwork. This is a ceiling, and everybody knows when you're doing a ceiling you have to deal with gravity. And so as fast as we put it up, it'll fall down. I got some tips for you guys as far as when you do a ceiling. First of all, don't use this. This is 3.4 mesh. That's the technical name, 3.4 mesh. This is rib lath. Use rib lath. Why? Rib lath, when you have an expansion like this, I mean, we got wood in here, but it's metal. So if you use rib lath, it's less likely to go up. Meaning if you use this 3.4, you put it on, say like, I'm using a hot mud too, by the way. All right, hot mud. So anyway, when you use rib lath, it stops it from bowing or slows it down. What if you use this 3.4, what'll happen is you'll go like this, and the 3.4 will go up, and then when you pull the trowel, boing, it'll pop down. And so any mud you put up there will go right in your face. So now that we got the lath straightened out, you want to mix your mud, say for a soffit. You want to mix it super rich. And me, I've got accelerators in here. What is an accelerator, guys? That means I have like 10 minutes to put all of this up or discard it because it will be too hard to use. How many different materials are there for a ceiling? A lot, guys. You can go about 15 different materials. The idea is to make it super rich because like what we do with stucco is we generally mix it, say, as a rule, 3 to 1. What does 3 to 1 mean? That means for every, for every bucket full, you use 3 times as much sand to 1 time the plaster, cement plaster, whatever you're using, guys, 3 to 1. For walls, for ceiling, it's a whole new ball game. You can't get this with 3 to 1. It'll just fall right off every single time. So with this, I'm doing a scratch coat, guys, because it has to set. Yo, caught it. All right. Now here's a rule too. Never work this way, because you see that piece that just fell off. You're working this way, and it's going to fall on your head. Work away from. Last one? Okay, work away from where you're working. Otherwise, like that piece I just put on, it'll fall right on your head. Okay, we're going to mix some more cement and get back on this. Now, by the time they mix more cement, this is going to be hard as a rock. And using that 3.4, we were doing a house, and it had soffits all the way around it. It was very loose, and I told this one dude, I said, hey, go plaster that area, knowing that when he went up, it was going to go boing and fall down. We went over there like 20 minutes later. He was covered with mud. And I said, man, where'd you learn to plaster? He lost his temper. I said, man, look, somebody put this lath on incorrectly, because every time I do it, and we started laughing. It was a joke. I didn't want to do it because I knew that I'd have the same effect. You're working, it's going to, as soon as you go up, boing, fall all over you. So make sure you use it. Rib lath, guys, when you're doing it. Look how solid this is. Okay, look at that. Very solid. Anyway, Madeleine's mixing some more mud, and then I'm going to finish this off. The whole point of this video is to show you guys your mud has got to be super rich, because if it's not, it'll be falling right all over the place right now. When Madeleine comes back, we'll show you the conclusion. Let me show you something else too. We already got the first coat on here. Why am I using such a big trowel? Because it's kind of like a derby or a screed. Now, if I grab this smaller trowel here and I put it on, I'd have to screed it in order for this piece to be lined up with the edges. So basically, I'm using this as a screed, this big trowel. Now, okay, guys, when you're putting your second coat on, basically, you just want to look at any of the holidays. Holidays in painting is boo-boos, mistakes, and true it out, true and plumb. That just means get everything lined up. So true and plumb is another technical word in the trade for square it out, make it as perfect as you can. Okay, with this big trowel, I can hit it once here and hit it once here. And it's pretty much tricked out. That's squared. As far as the material that I'm using accelerators in a particular product because it's a sealant. It's about 1.5 inches thick, guys. So 1.5 inches thick, I'm working against gravity. All the Portland cements, just raw, I could only scratch this. All of us could only scratch it if we're using just regular raw Portland cement. There's so many different companies out there that make so many fast set materials like Quikrete, like BMI 690, Rapid Set products at Home Depot, Lowe's. There's just so many. I guess only the professional plasterers would say, Kirk, I know exactly what material you're using because I need sticky, guys. Sticky mud. Otherwise, it's going to fall all over this ground. It's going to fall all over my head. But at the same time, not only sticky, it's got to be a material that sets quick. I mean, I don't want to be here all day. All I want is to knock this out and go to our next little project. So it's got to be sticky as well as setting fast. Now this is the equivalent of, well, what I'd recommend for any soffit inside. This could actually be used for exteriors too. But again, guys, plastering, what I'm doing here is nothing. Anybody can plaster, but it's the materials that are important, guys. Materials basically are, I'd say, 80% of the plastering knowledge. The other 20% is the skill of putting it up. Again, a lot of people can understand and put it up, but the knowledge of the materials is the true secret. It's like anything else, guys. If you know all the little tips, you're good. This is a bucket scoop, so it just takes all of this stuff out of the bucket accurately because it's got the same bend in it as the bucket. So I'm going to need maybe another 1 scoop. That bucket is empty now, so when we come back, I'm going to have this completed, and I'll show you how we match this finish. And earlier I was talking about that wire. How sharp is that wire? I'll show you how sharp that wire is, guys. You better wear gloves like these because generally when I'm lathing, which I just lathed this, I wear with the fingers cut out. Why? So I don't cut my finger off. But see this right here? That looks like I took a knife and went like that. That's the wire. It's razor sharp, guys. It's no joke. It took like half hour for this to stop bleeding. So when you're doing a ceiling or when you're working with this rib lath or 3.4 lath or any of that ceiling stuff, remember, it's sharp, razor sharp. Man, it looks like I tried to cut my fingernail off. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to let this set about 15 minutes. Jay's going to mix a little bit more of this concrete or stucco, and we'll show you how to float it to match this finish. Finally, lastly, you take a green sponge float and you lightly go over it. Now notice I'm not squeezing this hard, I'm just holding it very lightly. And what that does is it brings out the sand, aggregate. You want to match this finish, so you need this particular float. And for all you folks who watch in the UK who say, Kirk, you need a plastic float. Sometimes, but that is when you're compressing the two coats. You use a plastic float or a hard rubber or polyurethane float. And that doesn't give you any sand, but a green sponge float brings the sand to the surface. So that's what I'm doing here. We're just bringing the sand to the surface. And lastly, Madeleine suggested that I explain what this blue stuff is all the way around the perimeter. I take a lot of things for granted and just forget to mention stuff, but the blue was weldcrete. The weldcrete is a bonding agent because it's a saw cut and we can't get any wire. We can't tie wire to wire. So what we have is a cold joint. And if we put weldcrete on it, which is a bonding agent, it'll stick in here. Same thing we did on the front about 4 years ago to avoid a perimeter crack. Can it still crack? stucco can still crack because of movement. Stucco and movement is like a bad deal together. So anytime you have movement, you can possibly have a hairline crack. What does that mean? It just means it's got a hairline crack. When it dries, caulk it and paint it. Anyhow, guys, my name is Kirk, Jason on the camera. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
By the way, folks, my dad and I are now members of Amazon affiliates, so if you're looking to buy any of the plastering or construction tools you've seen in our videos and you want to support us in the process, you can check the links below our video, or you can go to our website and get them there. If you have any other questions for tools we don't have linked, email us direct and we'll respond to you then.
Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.